Firstly, go to View, Tool Palettes, Large Tool Set. There's going to be a few tools in here that's going to allow you to navigate around to get the best camera angle. Go to Window and Scenes. Dialog box will appear somewhere on your screen, in this case the top right. And now we're going to navigate to the spot where we want our first camera angle. We're going to hit the plus sign. That's where our camera is going to start for our animation. Now we're going to navigate around to the second camera angle or spot, and we call them scenes. Once you're happy with the second camera angle, press the plus sign up in the scenes window. I'm going to move inside the house. You can use the eye tool here to move left and right. That allows you to orbit around on the same point, unlike the orbit tool, which doesn't do that. We also use the foot tool to move back and forth. The reason we use the foot tool is that it will allow you to back up against a wall without going through the wall. It's slightly easier control than the orbit tool. Use a combination of these tools down the bottom here, the eye tool and the feet tool. Now we're going to move on to our fourth shot. Here I've got the hand tool just to move me closer to the corner. As I said, once you use these tools, you'll get used to each one of them and how they work the best. Now this is a difficult room because it's a bit tight, so we're going to use a different tool in a second here. You can use the zoom tool, so that magnifying glass. You'll notice I'm going to come down and change the angle here. That's going to give us, it's going to widen up the angle. It's like using a wide angle lens. And you can change that. So if I go back to that zoom tool, I'm going to be able to change the angle on which is available to me to see that room the best. Once I'm happy, I'll click the plus sign again. Now I'm going to take myself out the back. Sometimes a good way to do it from your bottom story to your top story is to go as a view out the back window. So, clicking the plus tool when I'm happy with that, and then zooming into the top story through another window or door. If you're a little bit low, you can then use the hand tool to go up. Use the feet tool then to back yourself into the corner, get the best shot. Okay, again changing that point of view angle there. And you can manipulate and play around with that until you're happy. plus sign. I'm happy with that angle. Sometimes it's nice when you've got a top story bedroom to swing around and have a look at the view out the window. If there is a nice view. If you've got some trees and shrubs and things outside, set the tone for a nice view. Enhances your overall design. Click the plus sign when you're happy with that view. Okay, now I can click back through those scenes. So the scenes have popped up at the top of the screen there. It will give you a bit of a preview as to how your camera is going to travel from scene to scene. No need to do another scene back to the front. There's a setting you can do in your export that will do that for you. Here we're going to go to View, Animation, and Play, and that will basically play through the animations before you've changed any settings, so you can use it as a bit of a preview and see if you're happy with how long the camera stays at each position and how long the camera takes to go from one position to the next. My personal preference here, well, that was a bit quick, so I'm going to go and stop that. I'm going to click on the scene there. Now I'm going to go to View, Animation, Settings. Dialog box will appear, and you can see that you've got some settings there to do with your transitions and how long the slide stays when it's at that camera point. You can change that around to your liking. I don't think you would want to spend any longer than 4 seconds. Now we go to File, Export. We're going to export the animation to a video, and this is what you're going to hand in. Change the file name. You're going to change it to your last name and your first name, and then something like house design. Change with some settings here. You can go to the advanced or option settings. For your purposes, if you want to export it at 1080, that's fine, but when you submit, we'd like it at 480. That makes it easier for you to upload and for us to download and watch each video when marking. But you certainly can save your own high HD quality version of your animation. Once you're happy with that, you can then press Save or Export. It will export. It will take a while, so you may need to let it sit there for a little bit. And it will export that movie out to an MP4.